Hello, my Bibblebonk squonkuli, and welcome back to the OSIEZONE. Yup, that's right, and I'm pretty sure that this is episode 11, and I really hope I'm not wrong. I hope everyone's week/month is going well, though it's hard to give it up, It's just, So I'm going to just go ahead and get straight into it. First, I want to tell you guys something. But in a couple days, it's my birthday. Yup. It's the 5th today. My birthday's the 7th of July, so I'm really happy. And before you get in my comments and talk about my astrology sign, I want to tell you that you're all wrong, and I don't use Western astrology. And we'll get into that in another episode, but don't tell me I'm a Cancer. I'm not. Anyway, I'm coming out with a song on my birthday. It's called Yoinky Sploinky. And yes, it is a remix of the What's 9 plus 10 Vine. Thank you so much to everyone who bought it on Bandcamp for $1. I made a whole $30 off of that. So if you want to give me $1 and I'll get 80 cents of it, you can go ahead and click that freaking link, bro. Click that link in the description and support me in my, I don't want to call it bad because I don't want to affirm badness about my art, but I feel like it's bad in an avant-garde way, in an artsy way. My bad art that I make sometimes on purpose. As for other music, I will be coming out with an actual, well, not actual. See, bad art is still art. It's just purposefully weird and twisted and, shut up. But when my sad music, my guitar music, I am planning to come out with more of that soon. So just wanted to tell you guys that I'm going to be 21 in a couple days, and I have a lot of feelings about it, and I'm going to get into that. But, God, every problem I feel like I'm navigating recently, like, I will, do the runaround and be like, oh my God, like, what's wrong? Because it's either something with me and the way I perceive myself, or it's something with the world and my fear that everything is just, like, crumbling, which it kind of is. But that all kind of ties in together. And what it really ends up being is I sometimes I lock in and I go, oh, well, maybe you're just entering your 20s, and that is why you feel this way. I've always said that the 20s are your teens part 2 on hard mode. So it's like all these complicated emotions, you're still dealing with like hormones and your brain not being fully developed. Except now you gotta, like, pay bills. And that's just, I'm happy to be in this part of my life because I'm, young and sexy and fun, and that's cool, and I'm, like, doing all this stuff, and I have, like, so much time ahead of me. But, unsureness and uncertainty is the breeding ground for opportunity and, like, advancement in life, whatever advancement means. I also have gripes with the term advancement when it comes to life. But I have gripes with everything because I'm 20. And where are we? And what's going on? So yeah, uncertainty is also the breeding ground for uncertainty. And a lot of like, oh my God, like anything could happen. What's going to happen? And sometimes as I get older, it feels like every choice I make solidifies a part of my destiny. And I haven't even read The Bell Jar, but I know about the fig tree. Was it a fig tree? I think. But she's just, watching all the figs fall off the tree, and each fig is represents an opportunity or possibility for a way that her life could go, but she can't decide which ones she wants to pick, so they all just start falling off the tree. And sometimes I feel like that, but I'm fine, guys. I promise I'm as fine as everyone is, and I'm in therapy. So that's my opening monologue, and starting with that being 20 and then also having anxiety and the scrolling that perpetuates that. There was a time in my life when I could delete social media for a few days. I could delete it maybe even for a week or so, and it would be like, oh my God, this is like miraculous. Like I feel my mental health getting so much better. And then I decided to pursue social media as a career, like I literally always planned to when I was a kid. And oh my God, sorry, I just ate a giant burger, so like I'm burping. And no, I don't think every kid should like aspire to be an influencer, but that was my aspiration, and I here we are. And I also don't like the term influencer, but I don't know what to call myself, and I don't want to be like a thought leader. Like I'm just a person who says stuff. and I'm trying to let myself be that because I have gripes with what I contribute, scrolling, everyone always talks about scrolling. You guys all know. You guys all know how it feels to be bombarded with just a constant influx of information, and it's seemingly inescapable, and it's kind of the first place that you instinctively go when you experience any conflicting emotion within yourself. Is just, oh, I'm gonna tap that little reel, I'm gonna scroll on reels. I actually like reels because reels shows me brain rot and TikTok shows me information. So there was a time when I could delete social media, but then I decided to do social media, and now I can never delete social media, and I have to go on social media every day to upload my videos. Oh my god, I'm burping so much. That's why I like YouTube, actually, is because it's longer form. It's not like as scrolly. Like, I'm not gonna go on shorts. But I can't delete it anymore. So it's constantly in my mind. And I've had social media for most of my life, even since my childhood. So it's all just really interesting. And it's all unnuanced, tiny little tidbits of information. Like, it doesn't go into the complexities of anything unless that's where you're trying to go. You can do the research on it, like it will let you. But everyone is telling these little tales with unnuanced perspective. You don't know any of the people that you're scrolling past, And the funny thing is, you are engaging in like a mental conversation with whatever content you consume. Like, you're currently engaged in a mental conversation with me, and everything that I'm saying, you are taking in and you are processing and you are judging. Not necessarily negative judgment, but you are judging it and seeing how it aligns with your belief system or your experience, and you're deciding whether or not you enjoy or don't enjoy what I'm saying or agree or whatever. So you're engaging in that mental dialogue with literally strangers. Like, you're letting strangers talk to you all day. You're letting strangers tell you what's what, including me. I'm like a stranger and I'm trying to tell you what's what. And preferably we find strangers that start to feel not like strangers, parasocial, weird, and being on the other end of a parasocial bond with a lot of you is interesting, because, there's thousands of people out there that see me every day that I don't see, that I don't know. Like, the strangers are watching me and thinking I'm no longer a stranger. Isn't that funny? I'm a stranger. And the crazy thing is, I get on here, like, I've been having, because scrolling puts me in such a odd and just disoriented state of almost panic every day. I am having issues and weird feelings about the fact that I am contributing to the soup of opinions. I try to state, and I say this a lot, I try to state that, like, people don't have to listen to me, that I really am just here to, like, have some perspective, or, to be on in the background while you wash your dishes and stuff like that. And I'm just, a young person. And I think that intention matters. And I think that if everyone else is allowed to do it, that I'm allowed to do it too. And the amount of people I help is way more than the amount of people that I hurt with my information, with my advice. But there's the fear of, like, one day, am I going to just disagree with everything that I say? Am I just going to disagree with all of that? But I kind of want to stop talking about myself so much. So I'm going to try and get to the point. Well, it's OSIEZONE. That's kind of what I do on here. Oh yeah, I was listening to this book. It's one of my favorite books, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, by Wayne Dyer. I think that's his name, but he kind of goes through the Taoist, the verses that Lao Tzu wrote. And one of them is like, those who know do not speak, and those who speak do not know. The kind of quietness of knowledge. And not contributing to just everyone's always just talking and arguing and saying things about each other and agreeing and disagreeing, and it feels sometimes like the most powerful thing that one could do is shut up. I say on my podcast, like, what are we doing? I've always been a talker, and there's always been points in my life where I want to be really shy and mysterious, but I know that's just not my journey, because you say something like that, those who speak do not know, and then you also ask, what's your purpose in life? And I've always thought that my purpose in life was to, like, speak my truth, speak my opinion, in a way that would help people. I've always known that, like, my purpose, I want to teach people through fun. Like, I hope you have fun watching this, and I hope you learn something about yourself. Like, that's kind of, so trying to stay oriented around a message and live off of the morals that I've created. There's also something that he says in that book where it's like, if there were no laws, what would your set of morals be? Like, do you not steal because it's against the law or because you don't want to take from others? Kind of like if everyone operated off of their own true moral code, you know, like I just don't. And then there's authoritarianism and and then on top of that, with the social media, there's a disconnect that consuming too much like online activism and information like gives you, and it starts to be a performance, especially when you're in a position of like having a platform, because your activism and like what you're doing shouldn't be oriented around peer validation or trying to appear like woke, I don't think, even though peer validation is one of the biggest motivators, especially for young people, so I do think it is a good tool. But I saw this TikTok that was like, if you funny enough, if you know more about online drama and activism discourse than actually what's going on in the world, then it's time to put down the phone. And that's why I really agree with like pick some causes you care about, like go volunteer, like go donate your money, like da da da. But God, it's just sometimes it's hard to live and just go about my day. So I've just been like kind of praying a lot and trying to put my phone down. I don't know if I talked about that in the last episode, and it makes me happy when I forget things, actually, because I remember things too much, and sometimes I don't like how much I remember and how much I can forget things. So whenever I have a lazy moment or I forget to do something, I go, congratulations. The burden is not heavy on the mind. Congratulations. Which is funny. And so that all ties into my next subject, which is like desiring fame and what that means for the ego. And I also think I might have talked about this. Like maybe I'm literally making a repeat of my last episode. You know, let's check my notes for my last episode. OSIEZONE 10. Okay, no. So, well, I do talk a lot about being like perceived, but I don't know any, like when I meet other people who are really desperate for like a following, I don't really like them. And it leads me to ask, like, do I like myself? Like, do I act like that? And every time I start to stress out about like, oh my God, is my audience big enough? Well, it definitely is at this point. I'm definitely constantly overwhelmed. And I need to like turn my phone off even more because I don't, I'm being watched right now. I'm being watched. But to me, I'm just alone in my room. And like, what does desiring fame mean for somebody? Like, it can mean that you have a void in your soul. And it can mean that you also just want to help and inspire others. And I think when I was younger, I was like, oh, I want to be famous. I want everyone to know who I am. Like, I want to, and like, sure, my ego enjoys that, but I have there's a lot of stuff to navigate with the ego. And every time I start to get fearful, I try to like reorient around like what's going to be helpful to people. I can't help but feel like I'm regurgitating things I've already said so many times before. Whatever. Sometimes you have one message that you preach and you need to preach it for your whole life for everyone to understand. That's really the truth. But yeah, my gripes with like, I want to like have more friends who are in my position in terms of like, I'm young and I have no idea what I'm doing. And it feels to me, and some people tell me that they look up to my actions and that they anticipate my advice. And I know there's going to be, YouTube comments are funny because I feel like I got a lot of older people in my comments being like, young, attractive, beautiful woman, or like, don't worry so much, I'm like 40 and life, it just happens, and you're doing such a good job for age, and just don't worry so much. And like, thanks guys. thanks. But I'm still here, I'm still in this body, and I'm still just like, what the hell. So I want friends who are in my position, but I find it hard to find them, and I'm sure I will, but I don't want to go be an influencer in LA and like da da da. And then there's also the like, oh my God, like, I want to start taking, like, brand deals, or, like, I want to have enough time to not have to film videos every single day, and maybe, like, give myself some days off, or go on a vacation, and in order to do that, you have to do a certain amount of selling out. And there's, like, honestly, like, I really am going to do my absolute best to only, like, promote things that I actually use, because there's a lot of things I actually use, but it's a thing of, like, my audience has trust in me. And I've never judged anyone I watch, actually, for doing a little brand deal, unless it's with, like, Coca-Cola. Like, big corporations, like, tweak me out. But, like, if you're doing a little, you know, you got your skincare deal, you got your TikTok shop product video, girl, I don't care. We all need to fund our creativity. Like, and here's the thing, is it's like, it's so crazy how people who have such little impact on the world and the pollution, like citizens, people who are not in the 1%, like, feel so much guilt for even promoting, like, one product just because, oh, I don't know where it's made, I don't know who's making it. And that is a good, you know, don't desensitize yourself to, like, the morals and, like, connection of, like, where the things you're selling are being made. But you do that and you go, oh my god, I feel so bad for, like, selling it and, like, telling people to buy it, People are either gonna buy it through you and they're gonna get you're gonna get a couple bucks off the fact that they clicked your link, or they're gonna go to, like, Target or Walmart, which is about 1,000 times more evil, and you're not gonna make any money off of it. And there's plenty of moral gripes that can be had with, like, oh, but you're promoting it though, but you're this or that. I just want to live. And as badly as I want to save the world, I've realized, like, I can't do it all in one go. And can I reduce my consumption? Absolutely. Can I preach good messaging? Absolutely. Can I volunteer? Absolutely. Can I put my money into organizations? Absolutely. Like, do I try to do all these things? Yes, of course. But should I not be grateful for the opportunity that I have to live the way that I do? And also, oh my god, I have this fear of success. This fear of, like, acquiring money, this fear of, like, abundance, as if, like, I'm scared of becoming evil, you know? I don't want to get a bunch of money and then be like, yeah, I'm keeping that to myself. Like, I want to give it to other people. Selfishly, and again, maybe I'm wrong, I'm always questioning myself. I feel like if I had a lot of money, not billions of dollars, but if I had some millies, bro, if I had $10 million, I would be helping people. I don't understand. And it's like, maybe they just tell us about all the bad rich people all the time because all the bad rich people are doing the most awful things to our entire world, and, like, most of the super rich people are just, like, awful. But maybe there's some rich people out there who are actually helping people. I don't know. And, like, I don't know. I like seeing my favorite people succeed. I like seeing people who have helped me succeed. So I'm trying to extend the same grace to myself. And you should too. You're not an awful person for succeeding. There are so many awful people in the world doing awful things to others, and for me to sit here and kind of worry, like, oh my god, like, I'm scared, like, because I don't want to be a bad person. Like, if you are aware of something, you are absolutely capable of changing it. So I've been trying to deconstruct my fear of success and wake up every morning and be grateful for where I am, because I really am in a beautiful place. And I get to sit at the table with my family and eat lovely meals and play cards. And I get to have moments of presence. And those always feel so good. And does the ever-looming doom hang over my head every day? Yeah. Do I spend a lot of my time thinking about the people who are being hurt in the world and just, like, everything that is so awful about it? Absolutely. And it's like, how do you balance that guilt with wanting to just, you know, enjoy what you've been so privileged to have? And I guess how I do that is I try to help others, and I try to use what I have in my brain that I might not have monetarily, but what I have in my brain, I try to share it. And is this just me, like, asking for validation constantly? Do I just get on here and ask for validation, like, oh no? But it's funny because I think the people who seek out and watch my videos, they're looking for some sort of validation or some sort of signal that they're not the only one that feels the way that they do. And I think that's what I look for when I talk to my audience too, is like, I'm not the only one feeling this way, right? Like, I'm not crazy, like, you guys understand, like, and there's a connection there, although it is weird, there's a connection there. And then leading from that would be faith, and trying to cultivate my faith. I feel I've reached kind of this is, God, how do I even get into the nuance of this statement? Like a spiritual plateau. But that in itself kind of denies what spirituality even is. Like, you are inherently a spiritual being without having to try. Like, there is no, but like, in terms of like how connected I feel to spirit and like to the universe and to like my own energy and just my intuition, I feel like has plateaued. I've been meditating for years now, every morning. I've been like, I try to do my things, but I want to like really throw myself into practice again, and like sacred study and like journaling. And like, I've realized that like I need to be about what I'm preaching. When it comes to self-care and self-love and connecting to yourself, like I need to be more about that. I can't just throw out everything that I was doing for myself for the sake of teaching it to others. And when I live that for myself, when I rest, I notice I have more productivity. I have more to say, I have more to give. And today I woke up and I made a to-do list, or actually last night I made a to-do list. And one side was like things I have to get done, and the other side was things like I want the universe to get done. And I know that sounds like, girl, like what do you mean, like God's gonna do all of it for you? But like kind of, yeah. So in the universe section I wrote like, give me energy and give me good, give me good content. Like I wanted to make good videos. And sometimes, especially recently, it's been hard with all these gripes I'm having about the fact that I talk on the internet and everything going on in the world, and just like kind of it feels futile. It's just been like, oh, what do I talk about? So I put in the universe column, send me some good ideas. And I had really good ideas, and I was able to get a lot more done than I thought I would. And I wasn't that tired. And here I am, it's like 8:20. I've been doing this all day, and here I am, and I'm able to talk back to back to back to back, and just say stuff. And another thing I've read is like, you have to live as if, the universe is acting through you. And so that's what that kind of is I'm not like, there, something else is doing it for me, but I am the something else, and the something else inhabits me and kind of animates me to do those things. I don't think I talk about my spirituality enough on the internet, and I don't really I feel like it's kind of obvious. I don't know. But I feel like I should talk about it more. I feel like such a student in every area of life. And it's hard to preach when you feel like such a student and you feel so clueless about everything in the world. But I try to remind I'm not trying to say that this is all scientifically proven evidence. Like, I'm talking about my experience as a person. Hello. It's just, sometimes I imagine myself like on a stage as if I'm talking to thousands of people. Because I am. Oh my God. And but yeah, I'm really spiritual, and trying to connect to that is pretty much the only thing that keeps me sane. And in times where the world is in such jeopardy and I'm just constantly thinking about it, it's like, what else to do but like sit down and pray and just hope. And funny enough, today things have gone well for me. Like I had a good day, which I don't know, it's been hard. I don't want to say that things are hard all the time and but like I've realized how far I've come and how much I have to be grateful for, and like I'm trying to measure backwards instead of against an impossible standard or an impossible place that I will never get, because everything I'm doing is just happening right now. Like right now is the only thing that's happening, kind of. So I'm just trying to have faith and really like get back into that, because it's always an ebb and flow, like how connected I feel to my spirit and to the world around me. And letting myself relax recently and not using time as a measurement as like to what I should be doing, but like my energy and how attuned I feel to the action that I'm taking at the moment, I guess. Jesus. And also just recently I've realized I might not want to do this forever. I'm doing something that, my younger self would have always wanted to do. And I do enjoy it. I wouldn't have it any other way right now. But like, what's the plan, Make videos forever? How long is forever? How long are we even going to be around? Like, is everything just going to crumble? Who am I going to meet? What am I going to figure out about myself? And recently I've just been like, damn, like maybe I need to stop making videos. And, don't cry yet. I'm not going, I'm sure if I took a month off, I would miss it so dearly and decide I wanted to do it again. But I'm trying to make more time to make music because I feel like that's actually what I want to pursue, but also I feel like anytime I tie money or career to anything I like doing, it just becomes diluted. But I think I love what I'm doing. And I think I've only been doing it for a year, and I think that I get better at it as I go, and I want to really take it seriously and develop, you know how like successful people, they always have like some sort of routine that gets them into a flow, or they have a process. Like, I'm trying to get to know my own creative process, and that's a really interesting thing to go through. And I just have so many thoughts and questions about everything. And so I think it really just lies in, I don't want to be an authority on something. I just want to be a friend in the least parasocial way possible. But I think I just need to stop reading my comments, and I think I need a manager or something. I don't want to, I can't, oh my god. I don't know how people do it. So yeah, maybe I won't make videos one day. And I was thinking about it, and like if I was to actually like get a normal job and like go to school and like have a normal person job, I would totally be a couples therapist, bro. Like, and I actually think I would go into that like loving it every day, but I don't think I could be like a normal couples therapist. Like, I don't think I could sit down with like normal, like regular straight people who are like really about marriage and like and be like yes, because I would just sit there. Like, I don't think I'd be very helpful. I think I'd just be like, oh my god, you're so brainwashed. Like, I'd be too, they'd be like, this woke bitch, I hate her. So, I don't know, like, I would probably have to be some sort of alternative spiritual couples therapist, which is low-key a little bit what I already am. But I only give advice on things I think I know about. Like, there's plenty of things that people ask me for advice on that I cannot give advice on. Should I do research into psychology and like learn a little bit more about perspectives and things I haven't been through? Yeah, but like my number one teacher is lived experience. And if I feel I can have a real perspective on something because I've probably been through it, which is, and if I ever want to get professionally trained, yeah, but oh my god, it's hard to become a therapist, God, and then what? I gotta like, no, I guess that's a psychiatrist. I don't want to be a drug dealer. You know what I mean? Not for the pharmaceutical industry, like, no. So yeah, but I really love romance and like, oh my god. Okay, I have two subjects here that I want to talk about, and I don't know which one I should do first. No, okay, I'll do the second one first. I want to start consuming romantic media again and commenting on it. And I want to do like more videos about like I want to do a thing maybe where people send in things they need advice on or just funny stories that happen to them, and I want to like comment on it, or I want to react to and review romantic media and kind of analyze relationships because it's just so beautiful and I just love it so much. This is going to be a little bit of spoilers for The Bear, but I've just been watching The Bear with my family, and Carmi and Claire, I don't like her. Okay, I don't like her character. I just don't like the way she acts. And it's not like I have any gripes with her morals. Like, she's just so, like, cliche, like, hey, like, I'm the cool girl, like, yeah, like, just, shut up. Anyway, there's this scene in, like, episode 3 or 4 where, like, he goes to talk to her, and he knocks on her door, and I don't know, they had like a heartfelt talk on the staircase, kind of heartfelt, but like Carmi is such a complex character, and you don't know what he's thinking, and it's almost like he doesn't know what he's thinking either, and he does not know how to talk about his feelings at all. So like obviously it would be hard for him to be in a relationship. But I just started thinking like, god, how many people just have no idea how to talk about the way that they feel? And that's always been a privilege that I have of like articulating. Like, I know how to articulate what I am feeling. Am I always the best at it? No. Am I sometimes short-sighted, egotistical, selfish, a little bit of a bitch? Of course, as every human is, and it's something I have to forgive myself for and promise to work on every time I make a mistake. But I know how to tell someone what I'm feeling, and I will never hold back on it. If I'm feeling a certain way, I'm gonna say it, and if you matter to me, and I care about keeping you in my life. But people don't know how to do that. A lot of people don't know how to do that. And it's moments like that when I kind of see that stuff and I go, oh, maybe there is a purpose to what I do. And conversation is so valuable. And it's nice that you're watching me here talk about myself, but, you know, go have a conversation with someone. Like, a real life conversation is always going to give you so much more insight than any amount of, like, videos could. I watch plenty of videos from people I really look up to and mentors or spiritual teachers. And, of course, it provides a certain kind of insight you can't get from a regular conversation. But when I speak to those that I know and who know me, and you would think this is an obvious thing to do, like, that's when I feel the void filled, you know, the void that I sometimes try to fill by scrolling. But anyway, I've always been a really big romance book fan, and I feel like I've asked for recommendations before, but if you guys could recommend me some good romance books in the comments, and please don't make it anything involving step-siblings. I don't know if I've talked about this on here yet, but, like, Colleen Hoover, I tried to read, like, one book of hers, and it was like, yep, and it's a nurse and a pilot, and they're living in San Francisco, but I'm not going to describe any of the landmarks of San Francisco or anything about the beautiful romantic landscape that is San Francisco. That really pissed me off. And then they were, like, Christian. No hate, but girl, it's not me. Look me in the face. I'm not a Christian. And, like, and then, like, they were, like, step-siblings or something? Maybe these were two different books. I don't like it. Please don't recommend me some stuff like that. Like, if you're gonna recommend me a romance novel, can you please make it, like, not written by a man or a middle-aged white woman? Please. So yeah, leave some good book recommendations. And yes, I have read A Court of Thorns and Roses. And yes, it is my guilty pleasure. And I know it's written by a middle-aged white woman, basically just writing fanfiction about her own husband. But I love it. Preferably they get freaky in the book. You know, I'm real crazy. I love that stuff. And I want to, like, watch cute romantic movies. Maybe they'll shatter my heart, but maybe I want to, like, give my opinions on it. I think that'll be fun. I definitely want to do a Q&A. So, like, I will keep you guys in the loop. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you should. I post a lot on there about kind of stuff that I'm going to be doing. And also, if you want to join my email list, which my mom told me to start an email list. I think she's right. Because if the internet ever goes down and social media ever goes down, like, I will email you and you'll know where to find me. Okay. If you want to keep up with me. So yeah, I want to start doing that. And I want to write again. I've always kind of wanted to write a book, and I used to write fan fiction when I was younger, and I had like 100,000 reads on one of these Wattpad fics I wrote. It was awful. You know, I never had the courage or the balls to, like, write smut because, like, girl, well, like, I was 12 when I was writing fanfiction. Not that I wasn't literally reading smut. Thanks. But, oh my god, the internet is a crazy place. But, like, what was I about to do? Like, no, I'm not gonna talk about somebody's member. Let's not do that. Yeah, no, ew. So basically, yeah. And I love fan fiction. It's contributed so much to my knowledge and my observation of relationships. Romance books have. And girl, like, reading about gay boys growing up made me a gay boy. And I realized, you know, one day it's like, oh my god, why am I so obsessed with, like, gay boys? Well, maybe because I am one. What a refreshing life to live. So as soon as I realized I was a gay boy, I knew what to go for in my relationships. But yeah, fanfiction is just, like, such an awesome thing. It's such a good way to start writing because you don't have to flesh out your own characters. I've written stories with original characters, but, like, you have to flesh them out so hard, and, like, you have to come up with things. But when you have a set of characters you're already deeply enamored with and know so much about, and they have their own little quirks, like, it makes it so much easier to kind of start that, you know, get that ball rolling and of creativity and, like, put them in scenarios you want, and, like, you can create your own thing. And that, like, it just really makes me really happy. And my last thing will be, well, not my last thing, the thing I wanted to say a little bit ago, cuddling as a rebellion and rest as a rebellion. There's this book I want to read about that, but it's funny, and I do literally so many, I need to write a book on this at this point, like love versus like capitalism, or like, you know, grind culture, like being in love versus like wanting to achieve your dreams, is so complicated, because if you have someone that you want to cuddle, like you just want to cuddle them, like, and everything you do every day, like you go to work every day so you can go home and cuddle, like that's the point. Whoa, my bangs look sick. You go to work so you can go home and cuddle, you know, and when you're single, like, you know, you go to work so you can like go to work and have money to spend on things, or like, you know, go out with your friends. Not that life sucks when you're single, like I loved being single, but like I always just find myself observing the differences, because I feel like, yeah, when you're in love you just want to cuddle, and when you're not, you know, it's fun to spend time with yourself, but like missing somebody all the time is like having a fly just buzzing around your head. That's what it sounds like when you're in love and you don't get to hang out with the person that you love right now, like, and you have to work and you're just working, but your brain is like, because you want to see bae. Not that you have to be like codependent, like love alone time, love when people have alone time, like great, but it's like such a nuisance to not be cuddling someone when your goal is to truly cuddle, and then you get to the cuddle part and you go, well, I should probably be doing something, I should probably be being productive. Shut up, it's a rebellion. They want you to always be grinding, they want you to always be like doing money, make thing, okay, do money thing, make money, right, but you're just like, cuddle, okay, bro. Maybe I should get addicted to lucid dreaming. That'd be fun. And with that, rest is sacred, cuddling is sacred, all of it leads you to your purpose. I'm literally burping so much I can't. And I'm gonna be 21 in 2 days. Now, how do I feel about drinking culture? This is a loaded one. How come, okay, and I've said this before, why do I always have to say that I clarify, blah, 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 blah. How come there's nowhere to dance in this damn country without getting drunk? I'll wait. Like, where is the community space where people dance? Like, people don't dance, first of all, which pisses me off. You guys have no culture. Well, people do dance, except for a lot of them. Okay, can we please dance? Did you know that dancing is like the #1 cure for depression? And did I fact check that? No. Let's literally fact check it right now. Dancing versus depression. Versus depression. A study found that undertaking structured dance of any genre is generally equal and occasionally more effective than other types of physical activity interventions for improving a range of psychological and cognitive outcomes, including emotional well-being, depression, motivation, social cognition, etc., etc. And that's just like organized dance. That's just like a dance class. Like, if you're just dancing and chilling, bro, expressing yourself, that's beautiful. So how come you can't go dance anywhere without getting drunk? Why is that the whole point? Oh, you have to be 21 to go dance. That's what I'm most excited to do. Not to drink, but to dance. Am I probably going to enjoy having a beer? Absolutely. And going into the store and they have to sell it to me? That would be great. Do I mostly just want to like go and dance? Yeah. I cannot wait to go to the club and like actually get to dance. Dancing is one of my favorite things to do. So writing and dancing. And I want to connect back to all of the hobbies that I have that aren't tied to like some like, oh my god, like dream work thing. I love collaging and scrapbooking. I love dancing. I love writing. And I want to get back into those things and really just #be about it. So what is all of this to say? I hope everyone's having a good summer. Things are really crazy. But they've always been crazy. And on a relative scale, I guess this is the most peaceful time that Earth has ever had. Arguable. But, you know, at least I have the ability to dye my hair purple and to have a septum ring or something. I will be coming out with a song in 2 days, and it'll be my birthday in 2 days. love you guys so much, and please support me on Bandcamp. And also, I got these red curtains. I really want to see if I can move my camera and show you it all without like messing up my whole life. Those, every morning I wake up and my room is pink. It's been one morning that I've woken up with those. My room is pink. I was having the worst day yesterday. It was my mom's birthday. Boy, oh boy. You know, I was just being so mean. Well, not me. Yeah, I was kind of being cranky. And I was just exhausted, and I had a headache. Halfway through the day, I lit some incense. You know, I put on some blush, and I put up these curtains. I went to my sibling's room, and I was like, you got those red curtains. I want some of those red curtains. And we had extra red curtains. My room is literally pink. Every time I wake up, I literally feel like my room is a room. And I moved a few months ago, and I still haven't like unpacked all my stuff, but I also want to get rid of like most of my stuff because I don't need any of it. And I've lived for like 3 months consistently without like 6 boxes of my belongings. Like, girl, you don't even need that. You don't even need that. And also, I want to start making clothes. I want to start making clothes so bad. Okay. Hey guys. And so basically, I love my curtains, and I just can't wait to keep decorating my room. Interior design is also one of my passions. I should do a Sims stream. I'm trying to get a PC. So if you see me taking a brand deal, just know that good things are coming. Anyway. Love you guys. Happy birthday to me almost. And I hope that today you can write down a few things that you're grateful for, and that you get to have a conversation with somebody that you love. And that is what I hope for you. I will see you all next time. And, yeah. OZ out.